Good morning, students. Now, till now we have learnt that Madame Loisel was quite upset at the loss of her necklace which belonged to someone else. It means Madame Forestier. They were very disappointed when they returned from the party. Her husband went in search of the necklace once again, and as he went, she remained in her evening gown. So come to page number 43. Okay. Not having the force to go to bed, even she did not have the courage to go to bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. He had found nothing. He did not find anything. He went to the police and to the cab offices and put an advertisement in the newspaper offering a reward. He tried to do the best possible ways to find out the necklace, the lost necklace. He went to the police station, to the cab offices, and even put the advertisements in newspapers. She waited all the day in a state of bewilderment. Before this frightful disaster, Loisel returned in the evening, his face pale. He had discovered nothing. And the same day when he returned back in the evening, he did not find anything. That was a disaster for them. He said, "Write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you will have it repaired. That will give us some time." Then Mr. Loisel tried to find out some excuse that why it was not returned in time. He asked her, means his wife, to write a letter asking that there was some damage in the necklace and it would need some time to be mended. She wrote as he dictated, as directed by him. She wrote the letter. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope, and Loisel, older by 5 years, declared, "We must replace this jewel." What happened? They tried a lot but did not find the necklace. Then though Loisel was older by 5 years, declared that they must replace that necklace. In the shop of the Palais Royal, they found a chaplet of diamonds which seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. They reached to a shop where they tried to find out the necklaces, and suddenly they found the same kind of necklace made of diamonds which seemed to them exactly like that one, means the lost one. It was valued at 40,000 francs. Just imagine the cost, 40,000 francs. They could get it for 36,000, and after bargaining they could get it for 36,000. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs. Loisel had only 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. Mr. Loisel had only 36, means 18,000 francs only, which his father had left him. He borrowed the rest. He made ruinous promises. He borrowed the rest amount of money, and he made ruinous promises to the people from whom he borrowed the money, took money from usurers and the whole race of landlords. Then he went to get the new necklace, depositing on the merchant's counter 36,000 francs. Then he borrowed some money from usurers. Usurers means the people who lend money on interest. Even whole race of lenders. Then he purchased the new necklace and deposited the promised amount of 36,000. When Ma'am Loisel took back the jewel to Ma'am Forestier, the latter said to her in a frigid tone, "You should have returned them to me sooner, for I might have needed them." When she took, means Ma'am Loisel took the necklace to the real owner, means Ma'am Forestier, she said in a very rude manner that she should have returned the necklace in time. Ma'am Forrester did not open the jewel box as Ma'am Loisel feared she would. What would she think if she should perceive the substitution? What she should say? What she should take her for a robber? So she had a different imagination. She said that she was afraid, and she found that the Mrs. Forestier did not open the box. She was afraid that what would happen if she identified the replaced jewel. Would she take her for a robber? Ma'am Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. She did her part, however, completely, heroically. It was necessary to pay this frightful debt. She should pay it. They sent away the maid. They changed their lodgings. They rented some rooms in an attic. Now there was a great change in their lives. It was very horrible for them. They had to pay the debt. They sent away their maid. They shifted their house, means their lodgings, means where they were living. Now they had rented some room in an attic. She learned the arduous work of a kitchen. She washed the dishes. She washed the soiled linen, their clothes and dish clothes, which she hung on the line to dry. She took down the refuse to the street each morning and brought up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath, and clothed like a woman of the people, she went to the grocers, the butchers, and the fruiterers with her basket on her arm, shopping, hanging to the last sou of her miserable money. There was a great change in her life. She had to do every work by her own. सारा काम उसे खुद करना पड़ रहा था, even shopping, purchasing, everything. She went, even washed her clothes, washed the utensils, cleaned the house. Everything was to be done by herself. She carried her basket in her arm and went for shopping, and even begged for some money, means bargained for money. She wanted to save every sou of money. The husband worked evenings, putting the books of some merchants in order. The nights he often did copying at 5 sous a page. And this life lasted for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had restored all. Ma'am Loisel seemed old now. She had become a strong, hard woman, the crude woman of the poor household. Her hair badly dressed, her skirts awry, her hands red. She spoke in a loud tone and washed the floors with large pails of water. But sometimes, when her husband was at the office, she would seat herself before the window and think of that evening party of former times, of that ball where she was so beautiful and so flattered. Now she was recalling her older times, and before that, her husband has to work hard. He did various kinds of jobs, and at the end of 10 years, they lost everything, her youth, their glory, their way of living style, living standard, everything was gone. Her hair badly dressed, her shirts awry, सारे कपड़े बेकार, not attractive. Now she spoke in a loud tone and washed the floor with large pails of water. How would it have been if she had not lost the necklace? Now she was thinking that it would be better if she had not lost the necklace. Who knows how singular is life and how full of changes, how small a thing will ruin or save one. One Sunday, as she was taking a walk on the Champs-Elysees to rid herself of the cares of the week, she suddenly perceived a woman walking with a child. It was Ma'am Forestier, still young, still pretty, still attractive. Ma'am Loisel was affected. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? Now what happened? She is recalling. She is thinking that it would be better. What would have happened if she had not lost the necklace? Now suddenly she saw a woman with a child. She was Ma'am Forestier. She was still young, still pretty, just opposite to Ma'am Loisel. Ma'am Loisel was quite affected. She decided to speak to her. She was thinking whether she should speak to her or not. And now she decided she would tell her the truth. She stopped her. Now she approached her. Good morning, Jenny. Her friend did not recognize her and was astonished to be so familiarly addressed by this common personage. She stammered, but madam, I do not know. You must be mistaken. She was surprised to hear such salutation. Naturally, when someone says, Good morning, Jenny, by name, she was surprised that she must be someone known, but she did not recognize her. And she said that you must be mistaken. No, I am Matilda Loisel. Her friend uttered a cry of astonishment, Miss Mrs. Forestier. Oh, my poor Matilda, how you have changed. Yes, I have had some hard days since I saw you, and some miserable ones, and all because of you. Now she wanted to reveal the truth. She said that she had suffered a lot and she had miserable days, and all because of Madame Forestier. Because of me? How is that? She said that how and why I am responsible. How is that? You recall the diamond necklace that you loaned me to wear to the miserable two ministers' ball? She said, do you remember that I borrowed a necklace from you? Yes, very well. Well, I lost it. She said that she lost it. How is that? Since you returned it to me, you returned it to me where it was lost. I returned another to you exactly like that, and it has taken us 10 years to pay for it. You can understand that it was not easy for us who have nothing, but it is finished and I am decently content. Now she revealed the truth that she lost the original necklace, and to repay for that necklace, it was not easy for them. And now everything is finished, and now she was content. Ma'am Forrester stopped short. Now she was taken aback. She said, "You say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine." She was surprised that Ma'am Loisel means she purchased a new necklace for them to replace it. "Yes, you did not perceive it then. Why, they were just alike." Yes, she said that they were just, both the necklaces were same, and therefore she did not identify. And she smiled with proud and simple joy. Ma'am Forrester was touched and took both her hands as she replied, "Oh, my poor Matilda, mine were false. They were not worth over 500 francs. Just think what would be the condition of Ma'am Loisel when Forrester declared, she announced that the necklace was not more than 500 francs. It was not original diamond. And she was very upset at this declaration of Mrs. Forrester. Now they both did not have anything to say.